I'm Elizabeth Cohen and I'm a potter. I work in porcelain. I make functional and sculptural work. I work in porcelain because it responds best to the touch, and I want my work to have a fluidity and an organic quality, and the porcelain will retain that even after the firing. I'm throwing a bowl with porcelain clay. Porcelain is the clay body that has the finest particulate. It's very smooth, very sensuous, very luscious, and very difficult to throw with. It does not like to get wet. And when one throws on the wheel, you need to use water to lubricate. So I'm always looking for the balance between wet enough, but as little water as possible. So I'm opening up a hole, and then I'm going to widen the bottom a little bit and pull up. I'm trying to use equal pressure between my hands and squeeze just a bit and pull up. Meanwhile, keeping my hands very braced. You'll notice that my hands are connected to one another by my thumb here, so I'm very steady. And as I pull, I'm just widening the rim a little bit, but the rest of the shaping will take place with my hands and a rib. So I'm going to use this to remove the surface water. I'm also removing the throwing marks, so the walls will be smooth, which is an aesthetic choice. This is very basic. It's clay and water and my hands and a few tools. And I really like the simplicity, the straightforwardness, the directness of this style of working in this medium. Okay, I'm going to slow the wheel down now as I bring the walls out, and I'm gently pressing outward and upward. Meanwhile, again, keeping my body very steady, my hands very steady. And there is a tipping point where you go too wide and it just will not stand, and it takes a lot of practice to know where the tipping point is, where you've used too much force or too much water. So I'm thinking inside about this nice curve I want in the bowl. Think about using a bowl, you want to put the spoon in and have a nice round inside with no sharp angles. So I'm really thinking about that curve each time I touch the clay. And I'm getting to the point where it's just about as wide as I want it. So one of the styles I make is I have 3 folds in the rim. And I sort of eyeball this using this decorating disc, and it's divided into various fractions based on a circle. And I use a little dot of water because I don't want to mar the surface. I'm going to use my hands again. I like the way this gives also sort of a spine or foundation to the outer portion. After I let this set up to a leather hard stage, I will turn it over and trim out the foot, which is the base. And then I will bisque fire it. Then I will take it out of the bisque, at which point it's still somewhat porous, like a garden pot. And then I will glaze it, put it back in the kiln for a longer, hotter firing, and it will be done.